Morning, guys. It's Wednesday morning. We got some snow, probably about an inch is all on the ground, but no, it'll probably hold up harvest for today at least, just depending on if it actually turned out sunny, but I don't think it's supposed to. I don't think we're supposed to get much more accumulation than this, but even if we could harvest today, if it was cold enough, like the snow could just go through, the roads have developed kind of a slight, well, they're covered. And so driving our semis on something like this wouldn't be very safe at all, at least for the time being. What I might do is go fix that, it's that junction box. If you look at my last video I posted, I was talking about it. We're having some issues with it throwing phantom loads, and so hopefully this fixes it. I did clean it out and I didn't notice any phantom loads yesterday. It's just, we've changed enough stuff on it. I was like, well, this one will have a cable that'll reach the thing to the cab, which we might start storing it into, so that's what we're gonna do today. That ice was slick. Whoa! Avoid the bale. I don't think I'm gonna make that left turn. Who kicks out a bale right in front of the driveway? Honestly. I know it's too soon for that. And that. So the junction box is actually underneath. There's two bolts here behind that's the auger. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in there, but that's what it is, that gray box in there that I gotta switch out anyway. Alright, right here is what you call a junction box for the scales. This is where all your leads come into that come from the weigh bars that are on each axle for each tire, and also the tongue. All these are this is a 5-port one, so there's 5 load cells on this this grain cart, and so I'm just going to replace this box out just in case I just wanted to replace it because sometimes it's just easier to start there. I mean, it does cost a little bit, but I mean, where we use this stuff to, we utilize this stuff to, sorry, maybe I should stop and talk, but we use this stuff to do our production and stuff a lot for our insurance. So it's really important, and especially on a year where you could be receiving a loss payment and stuff, you want to have that stuff, it's critical to have that stuff accurate. So like a $200 piece is kind of, seems like a lot of money, but when you're dealing with, you know, stuff like that, it's kind of small in the scale of things. So I'd rather have it be accurate instead of farting around with it a few more days, or hopefully this fixes everything. So that's what we're doing now. Guessing I did that wrong. There. Just feels right. So my holes don't line up, and that's thick crap right there. I don't know if I got a drill bit we might get by with one bolt the rest of the year, and then I'll drill it out when I get it back to the shop. Because that's unnecessary. It's almost like 1/2-inch plate right there. Maybe not quite half, but it's heavy duty. I don't really want to sit there with the drill right outside while it's 5 degrees. So before I put all these back on, I'm going to spray them with some electrical contact cleaner just to make sure they're dry. Well, at least cleaned. This will dry them out too. I had somebody mention something about an oxidation preventer. I can't remember what it was called earlier this morning. I was reading about it. Something I might look into, so I appreciate tips and stuff. I mean, not that I'll use everything all the time, but at least I might look into some of that stuff that you guys, so I'm always kind of looking for new ideas or better ways on how to do stuff. You know what, guys? They sent me the wrong box. Always count the ports. There's only 4 ports on this thing. Well, that stinks. Don't have any cell service down here either. But this happens all the time in farming. It's just usually you like to catch it sooner than when you get it mounted. So it's just one of those things. Happens every once in a while. You'll get a wrong part sent to you. It's an honest mistake, but it just kind of stinks. I'm assuming they'll just ship me another one. I'll have to send this one back. The only problem is, yeah, it just takes more time to do that.
Everyone will turn and test this weekend to help.
It's getting better. It's getting better. Beautiful colors in the sunrise, though. Took a little bit to start these this morning. Forgot to have the camera out to show you. Attempting to make a pass through here first thing this morning just to see what it does, see what the conditions are. There's still snow sitting on the plants right now. It's probably fine. I checked my sieves. It's really cold, so that snow's going right through, and most of it's coming off the plant right now. The problem is it's supposed to warm up to 44 degrees today, and so when it starts to get around that, you know, thawing out temperature, that can start freezing up on the sieves back there. It'll go through, stick to the plant, get wet back there on the sieve, and start plugging them up. So we might actually just wait for this snow to melt off, and hopefully we can get back out here later today. There's not a lot, but it doesn't take a ton. And for those of you farmers that's ever cleaned off sieves before, you know it's not fun. Or sometimes you just have to take it back to your shop overnight and let them heat up and thaw out. So instead of trying to fight with that and taking that risk, they're probably just going to wait until it mostly melts off here. So, and I notice on my outside row too, it tends to break the corn off easier looking over the side. I had a viewer talk about the augers on the side. You can actually get little whirligig augers that will actually help push that back into the head. And that's something that we're kind of starting to consider. If it was the beginning of the year, if we knew we were going to hit this, we'd probably order some. Where we're getting near the end here, we might just fight it. I don't know. It just depends. We might talk to my dad brother about it, but we've never had problems quite like this lately, so that's why we don't have them. And usually these, even in some down corn, these heads feed fairly well. But lately with this much down corn, a reel would be kind of nice. But as you can see, it's starting to pile up back over there. It'll fall off here in the slug. But then I just kind of got to back up. Well, usually it kicks it off. This is pretty severe down corn right here. So that's when it usually does it. And it's a little tough, cold, brittle. Hopefully it grabs enough here. It'll send it through. And then with that, I should be able to kick the rest of that on through just by going through here. Like work it in. There, it's starting to go. If I go slow, I'm just gonna try to make it to the end here, call it quits. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna dump on a cart that already has about a half load on it from the other day. Hopefully get it close to a semi-load, send him in, and just wait, I guess. Stuff like this. So it's stuff like this emission stuff that kind of irks us farmers out here. We're out here in the middle of Nebraska, in the middle of nowhere. where there's not a lot of vehicles, there's not a lot of stuff going on. Just to put things in perspective, there was tier 3 engines before these tier 4s, so there was emissions. The thing about those, they hardly ever smoked, they didn't emit much pollution, they were fine for out here. You didn't have to have these big filters on it and do all this other junk like diesel exhaust fluid and these huge exhaust filters. And so a lot of the times, most of the problems we have are from these things. The other day, it's probably been about a week ago, my brother's combine, it's a year old, the DEF pump went out of it, and he's had a lot of issues even on his 2014 model with DEF pumps and just this emissions stuff that they have to put on these machines out here. And so it's just something that kind of irks us a little bit. You have to deal with it. And so I don't know, tell me what you guys think below, give me your honest opinion. But to me, it doesn't make much sense for ag vehicles to have to run this stringent. I believe that being a good steward of the environment, yes, I'm all for it. But when it comes to uncommon sense, like stuff like this, forcing it to be on all this agricultural equipment that's pretty thin and few and far between out here in the country, just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But let me know your opinion. We can differ on this, but just let me know. Plus, I don't get something we have to mine from the earth is going to help us, the urea that we have to run through these machines. So I don't know, it just doesn't make much sense to me.
Listing can be heard and seen on KRBN.com's featured auction.
So I was talking to my brother just now. We're kind of standing out in the field. Everybody kind of left, but me and him. But what us farmers are always doing, we're always evaluating how things went. We're always evaluating what we could maybe do different, whether it's how the equipment we're running, the way we practiced farming this year, whether it's no-till, strip-till, conventional till, different hybrids, different companies, evaluating kind of what we're seeing and what we're noticing out here. That's one thing as at least progressive farmers, I think, are always doing. They're always evaluating what can we do that's better? How can we push that yield envelope, or actually more importantly, how can we push that return on investment envelope, I should say. It's not just increasing everything, it's also trying to just be more profitable and making the best use of our time, you know. And that's always something you got to equate too. I mean, our families are important to us. What's our return on investment on the time we're putting into each of these practices and stuff too. So it's not just what happens on the farm, there's also our families involved too. How can we get across these acres in an efficient time manner, spending the least amount of money that we can and just squeezing the most profit hopefully out of each and every acre. And so got a few deer here. Hey guys, make up your mind. There we go. Yep. Whoop. Whoop. Yep. You just never know what you're gonna catch. But no, so that's why just one thing that we're out here doing on the farm. So this might be a shorter video, but I might have a little bit of time here over the lunchtime. We're gonna wait for that snow to melt off the stalk, and so hopefully we can get started this afternoon. But today's Halloween. I just wanted to wish everybody happy Halloween, and hopefully you guys have a good time today. And I know it's just kind of a short holiday, but it is what it is. And nope, thanks guys. Hit the like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Check you later. Bye.